The European Union Election Observation Follow-up Mission has called for judicial and constitutional reforms in Nigeria ahead of the 2027 general election. Barry Andrews, a member of the European Parliament who also headed the EU mission to the 2023 general elections, led the follow-up mission delegation and spoke during a visit to the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC headquarters in Abuja yesterday. This came as chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, also called on the National Assembly to expedite action on review and passage of electoral reforms, warning that uncertainty over the legal framework could disrupt preparations for the 2027 polls. This is what we're talking about today: electoral reform. Cries for electoral reforms gets louder because of the EU mission. You can call me Solo, you can call me Mr. Solo, you can call me Sales, S-O-L-S, you can call me Mr. Sales, but officially I am Solomon of FM. Welcome to Matters. If you're just tuning in, this is Voice of the People 90.3 FM and the program is Matters with Solomon FM. Joining me to talk about this is Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner and current affairs analyst. Of course, he's become a regular with me on every Friday. Barrister Kolawole, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
Good afternoon, my brother. Thanks for having me.
Okay,
It's a pleasure.
Before we start the analysis, let me go to the introduction and of course get some soundbite. The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has hosted the European Union Election Observation Follow-up Mission, with both sides assessing progress made in implementing recommendations from the 2023 general election. Speaking at the meeting in Abuja, INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu explained that the follow-up exercise is in line with the EU tradition of monitoring reforms halfway between one general election and the next, as he recalled that the Commission had previously received similar missions in 2027 and 2022. Yakubu noted that the EU observation mission to the 2019 elections made 30 recommendations, including 11 directed at INEC, while the 2023 report contained 23 recommendations, 8 of which require action by the Commission. Only one of those was marked as a priority, while the remaining 15 include 5 priority recommendations were directed at other stakeholders such as the executive, legislature, judiciary, political party, civil society, media and professional groups. Also, in this remark, the chief observer of the EU Election Observation Mission, Barry Andrews, commended Nigeria's significance in the global democratic process. He also described the 2023 mission as one of the largest EU deployment. Take a listen.
The Commission has carefully considered all the 8 recommendations specifically addressed to us in your report. Action has been taken on aspects of the recommendations that only require administrative action to implement. Similarly, action is being taken on cross-cutting recommendations that require collective action between INEC and other bodies and stakeholders, while waiting for the conclusion of the ongoing legal review by the National Assembly on the recommendations that require legislative intervention. To this end, the Commission has prepared a detailed response to each of the 8 direct observations which we shared with you at this meeting. I must add that your recommendations, along with similar reports from other national and international election observers, were the subject of wide-ranging consultations with critical institutions and stakeholders during our own review of the 2023 general election. The review report contains 142 recommendations for electoral reform. In addition, the Commission has published our main 2023 General Election Report over a year ago. The main report for the election, as well as our review reports, are already available from our website.
The team have been deployed here for the last 3 weeks and will remain for a further week as part of this electoral observation mission. So what we are here to do is to look at the recommendations that flowed from the overall mission that were contained in the final report of the mission back in 2023. And we are very happy to see that there has been very significant progress against these recommendations. We recognize that there are certain time constraints, both in terms of judicial reform as well as administrative reform, and of course constitutional reform, which is somewhat more difficult. But we are making all of these recommendations against international standards that the EU, that Nigeria, that most countries have signed up to, and so we are part of an overall international election observation ecosystem that has really served to buttress democracy, to support democracy, not just here in Nigeria, not just in Africa, but across the world.
That was INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, and of course Andrew Barry's Chief Election Observer from the EU mission. Barrister Kolawole, are you there?
Yes, please. I'm here.
Okay, so 2023 election threw up lots of debates, lots of concern, lots of national discourse. When the Muhammadu Buhari administration made some signing, as pronounced as documented by the previous National Assembly, Nigerians thought, okay, this is election reforms we're talking about. Lots of things were documented, but of course, after the 23 general election, there were lots of debate and what's going on, how did that happen? And a particular what threw up even much more controversy is the fact that the election wasn't transmitted live as INEC promised Nigeria it will. And of course, lots of interpretation, and that's what we got to find out. There were lots of ambiguity when it comes to that reform. And of course, lots of Nigerians came out en masse to vote after years of skepticism when it comes to voter trust in Nigeria. And of course, that's renewed voter mistrust between Nigerians, voting Nigerians, and the Electoral Commission in Nigeria. And of course, election reforms, crying out. But this, the European mission in Nigeria, has brought up that dust once again. Of course, Nigerians have been crying for electoral reforms for years. After that 2023 elections, with that document we have here is not reformative enough for Nigerians to be able to trust voting in Nigeria. Now, the question is, the concern rather is Nigerians feel the National Assembly have been dragging their feet when it comes to election. Why do you think that is? Election reform rather.
Well, let me say that societies are never static. And when you look at the field of or the area of technology today, almost every 24 hours, you will find that there is one technological development, innovations, research, and finding. Not that any society that wants to develop must try very hard to catch up with what is happening in the area of technology around the world. And then the reform that we talk about, reform is a continuous exercise in the life of human beings. So as to be able to, like I said, keep pace with the overall development that is happening around society. With regard to the National Assembly or the political class that you talk about, why they are always very lukewarm and very tardy and never enthusiastic about electoral reform is very, very obvious. And I will give two examples or three analysis or three prognosis. One is if a man is benefiting from the Europe or from or if the National Assembly and then the political class is benefiting from the very incoherent and disorganized and very flawed electoral process that we have in the country today. If they are benefiting, why would you think that we want to reform that will shock them out of the benefits that they are used to? The second one is I remember listening to Professor Pat told me, I think whether it's on radio or television and all that he went to a function and he was giving a talk. And during the talk, he proposed a lot of reforms around our election and politics generally in Nigeria. And after he has made this remark, to his surprise and shock, the politician stood up and said, Prof, one of the people who invited him to that occasion to come and address, said, look, Prof, if we have to follow, if we have to do all these things that you have talked about, then many of us will be out of business politically.
Wow.
The man said they will be out of business politically and what happened.
That was quite bad.
And then to, exactly, to Patrick, to Professor Patrick, to Mr. Surprise as well. Most of the people who sat there, rather than see some seriousness in what the man has said and frown at it, all of them went up, uproar in laughter and then making sarcastic remarks. That shows you how cynical most of us have become when it comes to election reform. Furthermore, and more that, can we say that most of these people that we refer to as honorables and all that and what have you are technologically compliant? Are you not sure they still operate in the realm of analog, like some of us still do? So, if they still operate in the realm of analog and what have you and all that, for most of them, they wouldn't see the necessity of what we have on India now, when the rest of the world is subscribing to cutting-edge technology with regards to the electioneering and then voting activities and what have you. Look at a huge country like India. I think they are for 1.4, 1.6 billion and what have you. And when the elections are conducted, within a few days and all that, the whole results have been declared and what have you. I also mentioned the case of the Nigeria Bar Association. When we conduct our general election in the country today, in Nigeria today, most of this is done online. And as people are voting in their respective places with their handset and what have you, there is a collation center somewhere, electronic collation machine that is adding up the figures every per second, every minute, and all that. And everybody who sees around there is able to see what is happening. So my suspicion is that most of, not just the National Assembly, most politicians will never be enthusiastic in carrying out electoral reform that will shut them out of the rot that we presently call elections and politics in Nigeria today.
Now, there was something I got to see while I was reading this story, and of course with some comments that the INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu has made. One of them, which he keeps saying that he doesn't understand why the National Assembly are delaying the process. Is it electoral reform? Is it squarely on the hands of the National Assembly? The INEC chairman, doesn't he or she has a role to play, making sure the National Assembly does what is needed in terms of electoral reforms? I mean, you're the legal practitioner here.
Yeah, you're right. Honestly speaking, in my humble opinion, 70% of the work is supposed to be done by INEC. and all that.
70% of the job.
Yes, job is supposed to be done by INEC.
Okay.
If I should think, immediately the observers groups submitted their report and made a lot of suggestions and what with regards what has to be done for us to reform our electioneering processes and all that. I should think the INEC chairman would have compiled all the reports they have got, all the reports that they have got from the different, both the local observers and then the international observers and all that, and put it in a form,
in a document.
Write a covering note on it, send to the National Assembly Senate, and then the House of Reps, send to the Secretary of Government, Mr. President, and what have you, send to the judiciary, and then send to the respective political parties, and what have you, send to the State Electoral Commission chairman in the respective places, and what have you, and begin to push, have a lobby to get the National Assembly to debate the content of some of these suggestions that have been made and all that, and take a position on it with regard to passing or putting before the National Assembly a bill to reform the electoral process. And if the National Assembly is very starty with regard to doing that, of course, there is nothing that stops INEC from also preparing a bill and then forwarding it to the chairman of the Electoral Committee in both the Senate and the House of Representatives for consideration, and then for taking before the National Assembly for debate and passing into law. If he had done that, and I should think he should have done this within 6 months and 1 year of the 2023 general election. If he had done this, at least it could be said that the man has done his own part with regard to getting our electoral laws reformed and then having an improved election come 2027. But to see the truth of this is that he may be feeling a handicap to do that because he who pays the piper, the pays the fee. For example, it's the Secretary of Government that appointed Mr. President that appointed and all that. So if he now start pushing a reform of the electoral processes and all that, and the man who elected him is still looking for the election 2027, you know that may be endangering his position and his work. And not many people will have the courage to do that kind of a thing.
And then what also stood out for me was Yakubu noted that the EU observation mission to 2019 election made 30 recommendations. 30, not one, not two, 30. And of course, if you've been following our elections for a while, then you would know that, I mean, in the recent, probably we even need more than 30, recommendations.
Of course, I see the local observers. The local observers also made their own reports and which they pointed out a lot of flaws.
Exactly. So out of those 30 recommendations, including 11 directed at INEC, 11 of them, while the 2023 report contained 23 recommendations, 8 of which required action by the Commission. Only one of those were marked as priority. Only one of those out of 23 recommendations. This according to the INEC chairman Yakubu. Only one. While the remaining 15, including 5 priority recommendations, were directed at other stakeholders such as the executive, legislature, judiciary, political parties, civil society, media, and professional groups. But what stood out, only one of those were marked as a priority out of 23 recommendations, which means it looks like even the INEC chairman isn't exactly as enthusiastic as he's making it out to be. About these reforms, probably just playing to the gallery.
Yeah, you are speaking my mind. Honestly speaking, if you conduct an election and then the observers pointed out about 30 flaws with regard to that election, or the necessity of 30 suggestions as regards the reforms that have to be made, and when they make suggestions as regards the reforms to be made, it is based on the flaws, and the shortcomings they are seeing in the election that you have conducted. And if there are as much as 30 flaws in the election that you have conducted, The implication is that that election is not a serious election. It's not an election that one can sit oneself and say, we have done a free and fair job. We say we have discharged our mandate in accordance with what with the powers that the law have conferred on us. It means the 2023 elections with some, I think, with other responsibility. It's a fraud, and they ought not to be used as a template for the 2027 election. So, like you have said, if one is considered to be a priority than what has been, INEC, like you said, coming out very lately now, when the man is about to go, we are told that maybe the term of seriousness will expire in November, and it certainly should have expired because people in that area are supposed to go on a 3-month terminal leave before the expiration of their period of stewardship. So if that is the case, I know that it will appear to me that the chairman of INEC is in a way pointing accusing fingers at himself. He's in a way indicting himself for not rising up to the challenge and occasion of getting the elections or electoral processes reformed before the 2027 election. Look at the IRF and some of the technologies that are incorporated into the electoral process. At the end of the day, it's not compulsory, it's not part of the electoral act and all that. Even though I disagree. If those things are part of INEC regulations or INEC rules and what have you, I should think that they are there to help and ensure that we have a flawless election. If they are there to make sure, to ensure that we have a fair election and all that, I should think it is supplementary then. It is a thing that we have to incorporate, that we have to use alongside the electoral act 2020 or what have you, or 2022 or what have you, and not just something that you can discountenance with. And then with the technological failure, what is usually done if you are a man of industry, or if you are a man who works in some of these places where technology is usually deployed and what have you, you usually have a backup. When the so-called INEC server wireless began to have glitches and what have you, what alternatives did INEC put on ground to make sure that if something is malfunctioning, it is immediately replaced with another one? And then most importantly too, there are usually parallel channels of transmitting elections. In fact, you could have as much as 3 and what have you. You could have the paper one in which the ballot papers will be collected manually, practically, and then serially recorded. That is one. You could have the IRF and what have you. You could also have a kind of telex or radio, whatever transmission of electoral results.
And INEC doesn't have to do it alone. They can do it in collaboration with some other statistical organizations.
People with organizations like Soho, with Zoom, with Elon Musk, internet services and what have you. Look at what is happening in Ukraine today and all that. The minute the Russian army destroys the telecommunication facilities of Ukraine is now using Elon Musk internet services for his army and then for civilian purposes in those places. So, nothing stops INEC. INEC does not even have to acquire to buy some of these technologies because these are the equipment that you use once in a while, maybe twice a year or thereabout, and so that you can contract out that aspect of the collation of the nation results. You can contract it out to technologically savvy companies and what. Look at the banks, for example. Most of their software, most of their technological deployment and all that are manned by experts from outside. Yeah. They only have maybe a few engineers and computer scientists to do mere routine maintenance and to ensure that when issues are not too serious, they can equally tackle it internally. But if it is major, like operating their systems and all that, like the kind of software that they buy and deploy and what have you.
I mean,
Most of these things
usually whenever they want to do maintenance, they inform their customers we're doing maintenance. Between this time
exactly, they would exactly.
and in a few hours' time, the maintenance is done, and then
Exactly. Those are the kind of responses that we also require and then expect to see from INEC, which unfortunately since the inception of this democracy we have not been getting. And the truth of the matter is that we are not the only ones that conduct elections and what have it. All the countries of the nation, with the exception of maybe the authoritarian regimes and all that, conduct it. So we have a lot of countries in the world to borrow ideas from, to loan expertise from, to ask for assistance when they come to really conducting elections in Nigeria. Why we have not been doing this only God knows, only the authorities know. The EU come around, the other observer missions and all that. They are here not to mock us. They are here to assist us and ensure that we get some of these things. Because, you see, mandate is very, very important in the life of the government. If the government doesn't have the mandate of the people and all that, there are very little programs that such a government can execute, and then the citizens will follow, because they will always believe that after you don't have my mandate, and if you don't have my mandate, then you have no right whatsoever, or no power whatsoever, no capacity whatsoever to begin to do some of the things you want to do when you have not been given the mandate to push such things.
Now,
you can't carry the citizens along, so you don't have a mandate.
Okay. Now let's look at some of the reforms that is needed. I mean, there's a whole lot. First of all, from the foundation, the INEC chairman. I mean, when the INEC chairman is being nominated by the ruling party, you know, how would one expect such an election to go? Because there is a tendency that he will definitely bow to the ruling party.
Absolutely. Well, we could say that there are a few men who have the party to the spinal cord to stand up to the authorities or to stand up to the people who have appointed them. At least we saw a lot of bravery in the way and manner Professor Atari handled the responsibility or his responsibilities as INEC chairman. I'm not saying it was 100% good, excellent, or he performed 100%. Nobody ever does 100% job. So, but with Professor Mahmoud and all that, this is my personal opinion. I haven't seen the kind of concern, the kind of response, the kind of activism that we saw with Jega when he was the chairman of INEC. That the chairman, the president INEC chairman, appeared to be behaving like the typical civil servant who merely takes orders, does not even subject those orders to interpretation, but behaves like a zombie in carrying orders to satisfy whatever may have appointed him. So it is in that respect that the recommendations being made by not just the EU and other observer missions, including even a former House of Rep or Senator who has just sent a bill to the National Assembly as regards how the composition of INEC should be, and this should qualify to sit in INEC to administer elections in Nigeria. I don't totally agree with the bill or with the proposed bill by that former legislator, but I think there is merit in some of the things that they have said. Now we need to make sure that INEC becomes a totally neutral body, independent of the executive, independent of even the judiciary, but solely having their roots in the Nigerian people. I remember also making some suggestions the last time we spoke a little about this, in which I had also said that INEC should be composed, or members of INEC should be nominated by the civil service, by the civil society, the student body,
okay.
exactly the civil service organizations,
but how would
and what have you.
but what
And
would
then
how would
even
that
the political party to have a representative and observer mission in the INEC office
but
to
how
monitor what is
but
happening.
how would that work there? Wouldn't that be quite ambiguous and
No, it should not be.
quite cumbersome?
It should not be. It should not be. Even the army and police should also make sure should also be allowed to recommend people who will also send nominees to INEC. Why do I say this? When law and order breaks down, they are the one who pays with their life. When politicians do all these terrible things they do, who gets shot, who gets killed on the election day, it is a security people. Now, the truth of the matter is this. We already have the NFC that has a national body that has structures at the state level, that also has structures at the local government level, and also in the industrial floors. Wherever there are members, we have structures in there. So if you approach NFC, for example, you have a slot like a platform, recommend one person or two persons to us and whatever, and then they will recommend. The National Association of Nigerian Students will recommend. The civil society will recommend. The army will recommend. The police will recommend. The Christian Association will recommend. The Muslim Association body will recommend.
So which body will now do the collation then?
Yeah, we will do. Let me conclude. Okay. And then when they have made those recommendations, the name will be advertised. The name will be advertised. And when the name is advertised and all that people could write petitions or objections and all that, contesting or saying, look, this person or that person doesn't merit to be on this body for these social reasons and all that. And when those petitions are discussed and all that, if there is merit in that, you discuss of such person and call for some other nominees. Now, when that has been done, another neutral body can now perfect the whole thing. You have the Council of State, which is a body composed of all the former head of state and all that. Then you have the NJC, Nigerian Judicial Council and what have you. They could also have a say as regards the final ratification or whatever issue and sit on the INEC platform as a commissioner or as INEC chairman. With this, there will be very competent hands in some of those. And don't forget, there are some competent hands in those places. Remember the commissioner, INEC commissioner in Akwa Ibom, who had a running battle, I think, with Akpabio and Warabio and all that. He was, a lawyer, I've forgotten his name now, similarly incorruptible INEC commissioner. There was also one person, a lawyer, who was Okoye, you remember Okoye too? Who was INEC commissioner for information for some time and what have you. I'm sure it's some people who knew the merit, who knew the competence, who knew the uprightness and integrity of some of these people that they recommended. Ordinarily, Nigerians should also be encouraged to say, look, I think this person will be good to serve as INEC commissioner. And such person will be invited by the body we have the Council of State and then the NJC to send their CVs and what have you. And then they could scrutinize and
should that also include the RECs? Because some Nigerians have criticized the fact that it's professors and vice chancellors that are usually the state dependent chairman of this commission.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I'm asking. I say, does that also include the RECs, as in the resident electoral commissioners? Because some Nigerians have criticized the fact that resident electoral commissioners are professors and vice chancellors from universities.
No, you should also include them. You should also include them. I was reading the papers not too long ago. I think there's a professor that has been jailed now for electoral malpractices. I will merely read it on the social media. I haven't confirmed. I have not read the details of what really happened, why the court was said to have jailed that professor. You also remember, I think, the Southeast, one university professor also conducted election and ran away with the materials and what happened. It was much later that he was apprehended and then the election was concluded. The truth of the matter is that, look, in all societies, in all human spheres and what happened, whether in law, in medicine, judiciary, in academia and all that, there will always be some crooked elements who will be lacking integrity, who will not toe the line. That is why there is always, that is why it's always important to have the ways and means of filtering who gets through the system. And that's why we are saying somebody must be there to scrutinize whatever CVs that are received and also leave room for people to write objections and what have you. As regards who may be nominated as like a commission. After all, when judges are appointed in Nigeria today, there is a room for citizens to say, look, we don't think this person should be a judge or a magistrate because of this. When lawyers are also going to be making advocates of Nigeria, citizens their names are advertised and citizens are allowed or are encouraged to write petitions with regard to who has been appointed for that. And some people have been stopped from becoming a senior advocate of Nigeria when some of the kind they have dealt with very unfairly write petitions with this. I'm aware there is something in the paper not too long ago. Somebody was recommended for a senior advocate of Nigeria. The landlord of one of his, maybe his office or his presidential accommodation wrote a petition, look, this person has not been paying my rent as I went to. Wow. And that in fact he gave me rent now. Oh. And then because of that, the man was dropped.
Wow. Okay, now as a legal practitioner, because of time, let's go to take a look at the legal framework here. Because as I said earlier on, the 2023 general election brought up lots of controversies, and some of them is the legal framework. There were lots of ambiguity and different interpretations to different things. For example, the person that wins Lagos and the person that wins Abuja, and that must INEC follow IREV, because before the election INEC told us that according to the constitution of that reform that was done in the Buhari administration, INEC must transmit these results electronically. And then when it got to the courts, we had different interpretation. INEC must not. It wasn't a must, it was optional, for INEC to do that. And these and so many other legal ambiguity that, followed the 2023 elections. So how should that be solved?
It's very simple. If we really are committed to having a free and fair elections and what have you. When we started this discussion, I mentioned there is the Electoral Act, I think 2022, yes. And then there's also rules and guidelines and what have you. And with some of those things that are not contained in the Electoral Act, you could find some of them in INEC regulations and what have you. For me, this is my own opinion. The INEC rules or whatever regulation is supposed to be supplementary, a kind of addition to
the electoral reform,
to the Electoral Act and what have you. So
because as a legal practitioner, I think you will know better. The Constitution is supposed to be superior to whatever regulatory guidance of these different agencies and ministries.
I agree, but if the Constitution is enough for the conduct of election, we wouldn't be having the Electoral Act, we wouldn't be having INEC regulations. Those Electoral Act and INEC regulations are supposed to aid the interpretation or the realization of what is contained in the Constitution. So if we begin to just merely say whatever is not in the constitution then should not become portable under the law. Then we will be shooting ourselves in the leg. We will be inflicting a lot of injuries on ourselves in the sense that we will be thrown out the baby with the bathwater. So when there is so long, you have some things in the Electoral Act, and you have it in the INEC rules and regulations, and they are not injurious or not contradictory to what is contained in the Constitution. I think the law should always enforce it.
Okay, Barrister Tunde, thank you, Kolawole, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure talking to you. We have to open the phone lines now for people to contact.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Do have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, sir. You too, sir.
Thank you.
That was Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner and current affairs analyst. Okay, time to open the phone lines for your contributions. 0700 903 903 903. Again, 0700 903 903 903. Or 0803 692 9933. Again, 0803 692 9933. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp, and the WhatsApp line is 081 717 56338. Again, 081 717 56338. Our first caller, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
It's now calling from a court. Good afternoon.
Okay, we now. Talk to us.
Yes, sir. This reform, like law amendment, right?
Yes.
And we people ready to respect the law in our own country, that we know that many people, they are not in respect of law in this country. So Nigeria are having a lot of problems. That is my own opinion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
0700 903 903 903 003 692 9933. Hello. Hello, welcome to VOP. Hello. Okay, call us back. We can't hear you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
My name is Emeka. Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
What am I trying to say is that this electoral reform INEC Chairman is calling for is not the issue. Let him bring show Nigeria the real result of 2023 election. Let him show Nigeria the real result of 2023 election. That is it. Because it's not because the INEC started permitting Nigeria electoral reform. It's not the same INEC Chairman that shows the way Nigeria all the election results is transmit electronically to the IRS. This timing is change automatically. Because it's not mandatory. It becomes mandatory that anything that transmit during the country anything of this electronically. Let them show all the previous election results as was done and the real winner of that election. That is my own position. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you. You can also call or text us via WhatsApp 081 717 56338. Again, 081 717 56338. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to VOP. Tell us where you're calling
Good
from.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, what I'm trying to say is, all what we are hearing from you people, I love this station. And even because of this, I bought a small radio. Wherever I go with it. But what I want to say is that, what about if we are discussing all those things, at last this man will tell the man, declare me, and after saying declare, he say go to court. Because I remember when he said get a day for me, and when it happened and he say if whoever did not want it, you go to court. So now, how do you expect? Even when before he was there, he said that grab, run. I mean, it happened in that area. They declare him today is a president. What about if he reach that time? He said declare me, and they declare him. He said go to court. The court say he's the one. So all this one we are doing, it's better for all of us to join hands together.
That's why the reform is necessary. The reform will take away all that. Where we have a situation where the election just ends in the polling units, where we don't have to do a lot of court. The electoral reform will take some of those things out of it.
Are you sure you will agree? That is the problem. We don't have Senate. So he is all and all. Everything is under him. Both police, custom, lawyer, INEC. And are you sure you will agree to sign?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. I mean, I get your fears and all. But that's why reforms are necessary, to take out some of the. I mean, first of all, the president is the person that nominates INEC chairman. So of course it's so it is normal that the INEC chairman will listen to him. But that's one of the things the reforms will take care of, where who is the INEC chairman will be taken out of the hands of the president. So the president will not have power over the INEC. The INEC will be independent. That's one of the things the reforms is supposed to take care of.
Anyway, I pray you agree, because I know him. He might not agree.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Hello, welcome to VOP. Good afternoon. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
My name is Robert. Am I audible?
Yes, you're very audible.
Hello?
You're very audible. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Tell us the name where you're calling from,
please. Robert.
Calling from Papa. Okay, from Papa. Go ahead, please.
The reform that you are talking about, who are the people that will move for the something? Is it this present National Assembly members? Which one? Of the incoming one?
It's supposed to be this
Babio-led National Assembly, or the one that will come after Babio.
I get your skepticism. Of course, it's supposed to be this National Assembly, but we all know.
I don't think if somebody benefits or benefit from a system or one system, I think you are when the government is pledged. Somebody said he rigged an election for Akpabio, and I think he was sent to prison, something like that. So do you think that such person will now say, okay, let us change the system overnight so that I will not benefit from the system? So that is the problem that we find ourselves. You understand? So the issue, go to court. See, a lot of things are very wrong in this country. I never see a country where they practice a presidential system of government and they have 3 separation of best.
Robert, we're losing you. We're losing you.
What does that supposed to mean?
Okay.
In a democratic setting.
Thank you.
In a normal client, the National Assembly is supposed to be a check on the executive. And on the judicial also, they're supposed to check each other. Anywhere they are going wrong, they're supposed to correct. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jai. Don't let me...
Hello, welcome to VOP.
Hello, it's Obina again.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the INEC chairman must be held responsible, because he's not the first INEC chairman in this country. Under his own words, the whole INEC structure collapsed. So we should hold him responsible. If the president that is appointed INEC chairman is not the first chairman of INEC, that is my own opinion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP.
Good afternoon, Wisdom Man. Mazi Sonny calling from Ajalaba.
Okay, Mazi, go ahead.
You see, Agasulu, I want to ask question. You see, Mokubi, where they say a INEC chairman, you know, if you tell us about the glitch, you know, what happened for 2023. Now, how many days remain for an office to come out, to the left office? Now they raise up and tell Nigeria that is supposed to fix something for the INEC people. Why since over 2 years why into this relation? Why no work of it? I shame for this country. Anybody where their time reach to come out, he just to give us another story. A chairman of INEC, the former one, what they call us, the judiciary, the former one who left now before he put a now what you tell us with that? A law is supposed to be reformed, and this when you reform that thing before the time we there. When you time to tell go just to go on, you begin to tell us story. Please, I'm telling Nigeria people, let us arise. Let the judicial a lawmaker be a reform this electoral reform. They don't agree. There is not election of 2027. That's what we're supposed to take. Nigeria people are supposed to stand with that.
Thank you.
What is going on for this country?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Bye bye.
Ooh, okay. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Souls.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us in the way.
Quickly, I'm Gospel calling from Badagry.
Okay, Gospel.
Good work by your analyst. I love what the EU did. See, globally, there is a kwashiorkor of leadership. I think the solution to this problem is sanctions. See the war between Ukraine and Russia. Putin refused to do the right thing. The European Union, they begin to sanction them. So I think when US, United Nations, they sanction our leader, they will not do this reform unless there is economic and political sanction. If they refuse our political leader from traveling all over Europe and they ban Nigeria, or you see what does it take? Is electoral reform a rocket science? And based on what your analyst says, without the people mandate, this country will not move forward. So I believe that the solution to our problem is not even in Nigeria. It belongs to the European Union, the United Nations, and all those global powers to sanction our president. This one. If they are not sanctioned, they won't make any reform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Welcome to VOP.
Hello, Solomon the White Man.
Hey, tell us in the way you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Macaulay from Mafoluku.
Okay, Mr. Macaulay, talk to us.
Yes, Wise Man. Who's calling for electoral reform? Is it the Mahmoudi that will be leaving tomorrow, that will leave in office by tomorrow? Is it this man? You see how our leaders, the way they behave, because he has now known that his tenor almost gone, so that maybe he wants to do a sort of damage control, which will not work for him. Can you imagine that? Yes. Now, even when you are talking about credible climate, no one remembers Hunt who took it on to him and take it up with Babangida president. Even when hello?
No, I'm thanking you.
Yes. So even when the electoral is not reformed, then it calls for that conscience, especially in the hymn of the affairs of the shadow, so that the people will reach good conscience.
Okay.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, thank you.
Good work are not properly rewarded in this time. If one should be rewarded, he should be remembered for his good work. That's what person we know who can take it up with this type of money, this president. Honestly.
Thank you.
Because we need good people to be there.
Thank
you so much. Bye.
Hello, welcome to VOP.
Good afternoon. This is Adebayo from Alagba.
Okay, go ahead, Adebayo.
The electoral reform and change adjusting our constitution to suit every region. Is it the same? I'm asking you.
It's the same.
Hello?
It's the same.
Because my own concern is that the present system we are operating, if you can rearrange our constitution in a way that will make sure that every corner of the country will have opportunity to rule this country, maybe for 4 years, whatever. I think that is okay. If it is doing that work, or if it's not doing it, if you continue to maintain this type of system we are operating today, I think there's no headway. Then I would like to say something here. I don't care what anybody responds to be. I think people have some revenge agenda. Because the way some of them come already at talk, you can't believe it. You see some people just talk, this is what they want. If it's not Igbo, it's not going to work, it's not going to do, it's not going to do that. You don't get support and allow your support for your people to rule Nigeria like that. You should forget that the past, it is past. The past is going to pass. After this war, do you know that Yoruba and Hausa fight Agbekoyawo? Do you know? You know how many people because and Yoruba will just sit down and forget that make friends with them again. Don't forget that the past is gone. If you continue to read this, okay, let's imagine they become president. Is it what they are going to do? They continue to remind the people, this is what they do, this is what they do. Would they even allow him to be swearing as the president of Nigeria? Look at this, who's are you locally? This man was giving president, clear president of the quarter of the. They did not allow this man to go to the. Now they are coming. There's some people who are now coming are complaining about what do you call this?
I think you're getting the whole thing wrong here.
I'm not getting it wrong. Why are they complaining about the president of the?
Now.
I'm listening to you. Yeah.
It's not just about Igbo people. They want the right Igbo person. That's why they opposed it. They are not. Wait for an Igbo president. They are desperate for an Igbo president. That's why when someone like
why did they denounce Kalu to become Senate president? This man was crying. They say it's a chief. They say it's a chief. No, they allow Aka. What do you call this party? Akabu or whatever they call it. And they are still complaining that it's not doing well.
Because they didn't want him.
Why did they not want him? It's not in Nigeria. It's not in Nigeria.
So you're desperate for anybody that you can just accept everybody. Is that the situation?
No, what I'm saying is that when they open Nigeria, it's not president.
So you want someone to be imposed on them that they don't like simply because he's an Igbo person? Is that what you're saying?
Okay, if it's an Igbo man and they say they are trying to be president. Okay, if they don't care about it.
Then they have the right to choose the kind of Igbo person they want, not the kind of Igbo man that would spoil their
life. And then the Akpabo is there. They pick Akpabo, whatever you call it, that. But to be with you, why they complain about it that it's not performing well? Must they dictate to us? Now they are saying this come up in Nigeria president. Are they going to dictate to us who's going to be Nigeria president?
I think you've turned the whole thing upside down. Anyway, that's not even what we are talking about today anyway, but thank you very much. Oh my God. Now this guy has changed the topic for the discussion because every other person that is calling now will want to react to what he said. Please stick to the topic for discussion, please. Let's not start another Igbo Yoruba argument here, okay? Thank you very much. Hello, tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell us the name where you're calling from.
This is Paul from Egbeda.
Okay, Paul, go ahead, sir.
The wise man, good afternoon for the way you are handling the program. God bless you.
Thank you
so much.
Very much. Thank you.
This OP is our station, the Nigerian master station worldwide, and we will do everything to support it. Now, the INEC chairman that is going, he owns Nigerians and the entire world an explanation because he went to Chatham House to say, to promise the world, not only Nigerians, he promised policymakers, he promised democratic
stakeholders.
The stakeholders, that this thing would be transmitted immediately, similarly, that you will be seen from the polling booth, you will see the result of each candidate or each party. That was his promise.
Well,
And
we both know we are in a country where our leaders are not held accountable. Now, the problem is, what is the way forward? That the electoral reform, that is what we are pushing for right now. We can't keep crying over spilled milk.
yeah, okay, he had 2 years, going to 3 years after the 2023 election. Why did he not bring this thing forward? Why is it at the tail end of his tenure, he's bringing it and insisting it must be done? Fine, it is never late to do the right thing. But the major thing is the stakeholders, the president, whose signature gives authenticity and the approval of the amendment or the amendment to be. Will he be able to sign? Will he agree to sign?
Okay.
Because we want a better nation. I don't have any other country except Nigeria. And my children also, they're asking me questions. They are graduates. They're asking me questions, Daddy. During your own days, is it the way Nigeria was? I said no.
Okay.
They're not asking me what went wrong.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hello, Ras. My name is Chibuzo. I'm from Jego.
Oh, Chibuzo. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, so let me greet you for your work you are doing, sir. Nigeria Mataron time is I no get time to say, may they no can arrest me. That's my own opinion for today, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for your job, sir.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, Robin again.
Oh, Obina. Okay.
So the INEC chair that is coming. I want woman. Because for long now, woman never test that shift. Many women also have performed very well in this country. That is my own suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, my good brother.
Good afternoon. Please move away from the radio TV set or switch it off. I'm getting the whole back.
God bless you. I've done that.
Okay. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
I'm calling you, Mr. Fine. I'm calling you from Idegamo.
Okay, Mr. Fine. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Please, what I want to say in this reform is that it's very good. And because that's why in that 23 election, when you look at the House of Assembly and Senators, some of them lose their seat. They not return back. Because of that high ref, the result was transmitted effectively, and they saw that they lose election.
There were lots.
There were lots of
surprises.
In my this thing or whatever. Everybody take it that yes, this is what happened. They saw it that they won this person, they have lose election, and this is the person that won the election. Even though that Labour Party, they won all of them was elected. Somebody have not contested the election before. You see Okada people win the election. You see taxi person win the election because of that high ref. Then you reach the presidential one, they not switch it off because you know that's going to affect the president based on whatever they have agreement they have. So if this thing can be signed, even though that high ref, I'm telling you honestly, we are good to go. If they can sign this, that put it in mandate that you must transmit that result. My brother, forget about it. Before 12 o'clock, everybody will be, the whole thing will be all over. But they are not going to sign it because it's going to affect them. That's the problem.
Thank you very much.
I pray that God will help us.
Amen.
And please, sorry, I want to report something. That is.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Tell us the name where you're calling from, please.
Okay, I am Christopher. I'm calling you from Ikeja.
Okay, Christopher, go ahead, please.
Please, I just want to say, is it wrong if Atiku Abubakar deputize Peter Obi?
It's not even constitutional. Don't forget he's been vice president for 2 tenure now.
Okay.
So he can't be vice president again.
But
he can either be president or governor or so many other offices. He can't repeat the position he's had before, especially if he's more than 2 tenures.
All right, sir. Excuse me, sir. This man, I think we should at least try and humbled himself for Peter Obi, because Peter Obi has been obediently and has been respectively. He has been respecting this man in so many occasions. He has humbled himself before this man a lot. Why is it that this man is finding it difficult to just give this young man the chance to rule?
Well,
this man has become...
It is called ambition. It is called...
Yes,
We all know we all know he's been desperate to be president for years now. So,
but he's not winning the heart of the people. The one winning the heart of the whole country here is Peter Obi. Whether you are Igbo, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Igbo, irrespective of the tribes where you are from, what we want is this vibrant man. Let us test the work of this man, the work of Peter Obi. This man has a vision and a better future for this country. Why Nigeria? Let Nigeria just give him a try. I think please,
okay.
Just step down for this man to rule us, even if it is 4 years.
Okay, thank you very much. 0700903903 003-692-9933. And WhatsApp line 081-717-56338. Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to VOP. Tell us and where you're calling from, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Prophet.
Okay, Prophet, go ahead.
I love the way he spoke well. I listened to him very carefully. He spoke well. I have to appreciate he spoke well, talk well.
Thank you.
But as a journalist, help us to, because you people and help us to push more. I love what you are saying, the way you talk today. I love it. Help us push more about that electoral reform. It is necessary. I listen to you very carefully. It will help a lot. Because I have made a sanitary law, need that electoral reform so that genuine person, the person that people will mandate, the person who want to vote, you will show up. The person that you will elect will be exactly that person. I like made I wanted to put into law that sanitary law that you even post. So even if they will not sign it, no electoral for no 2027. See, do you know why? What I'm telling Nigeria is that when they read tribalism, see, there is power in unity. Are you hearing me, sir?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Are you hearing me, sir? I want to round up. Are you hearing me, sir?
We can hear you. Round up. We can hear you.
I want to tell Nigeria, forget about this tribalism. The politicians, Nigerian politicians know there is the power in unity. We see some people that is united together with one voice, and they can achieve a lot. That is why if we all of us better together, speak with one voice for one thing. Especially electoral reform, we achieve. But do you know what politicians do in order to break their wings? Yeah. They will bring religions and tribalism. That's why they use it to scatter. We are fighting ourselves. We will push more about that electoral reform. So that without that, we will speak one voice that no election 2027. Otherwise, without the electoral reform 2027, this man will still be there. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a nice.
Okay, let me read some messages. Good day, the Velvet Voice on radio concerning the issue of INEC and conducting elections in Nigeria. It's in a normal society, Mr. Mahmoud would have been in jail for disappointing Nigerians with his determined server glitches, which we all know it was predetermined by Mr. Mahmoud and his cohort. Let me tell you, my brother, in as much as the present government is involved in the appointment of INEC chairman and the commissioners, nothing will come out of it. They are just wasting our time and energy on nothing that won't yield any good result. Ernest is a Chuku from Akonwojo. Thank you. If the president is not transparent in his administration, electoral reform is like another way of fighting him. They won't sign it. This is Napoleon Jude. Thank you very much, Napoleon Jude. Good afternoon, VOP and the good people of Nigeria. Ikenna from Ikorodu. What are we talking about? Is this reform INEC is talking about now? Would he do better than what he did before 2023? Nigeria said it before that time that he would not transmit results before election, and the chairman denied it. After all election came, he did the same thing Nigeria accused him of. This reform is good, but who will sign it into law? Will this minister overrule Tinubu if he refuses to sign it? Are we not thinking of in this direction? If the reform is done, who will sign it? And if Tinubu did not sign it, will this current senator overrule Tinubu and make it to be laws? Nigeria, shine your eyes, oh. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Solomon. There is no difference between Atiku and Tinubu. To me, Atiku should support Obi if he truly loves Nigeria. Electoral reform is good, but I'm calling on lovers of Nigerian from six geopolitical zones to rise, insist that a sitting president should not appoint INEC chairman. Secondly, 6 geopolitical zones should cast vote for election to choose who will be INEC chairman. Thirdly, all elections results should be declared and end on the polling unit. Failure to this, Nigeria and Nigerians will keep suffering in the hands of corrupt and evil politicians, stealing public funds, taking it to France, USA, and UK. H.E. Peter Obi remains the light and the man Nigeria and Nigerians need to rescue them. Prince UK Martins. Thank you very much. Okay, it is time for us to go. Thank you very much for your contributions. INEC hosted the European Union observation follow-up teams with both sides assessing progress made in implementing recommendations from the 2023 general election. Speaking at the meeting in Abuja, INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu explained that the follow-up exercise is in line with EU tradition of monitoring reforms halfway between one general election and the next, as he called that the commission had previously received similar missions in 2027 and 2022. But it's time for us to go. We'll be right back next week, Monday, where Chima Innocent will be on air. The program is Matters and Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Keep a date with us next week, Monday. The time is 1:30 p.m. The program is Matters. Do follow our social media handles at VOP903FM. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP903FM. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. See you next week, Monday. I am Solomon of FEM. Bye-bye.